watching Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington football team video, and in today's video I'm coming on here to talk about why I believe Washington now has a Super Bowl contending defense. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case the Washington football team. Let's get straight into today's video. So I know you guys are probably going to be confused about the title and say, hey man, we already have a Super Bowl contending defense. What are you talking about here? Now, I kind of agree with you guys in that sense, and I know some of you guys are like, we already have a Super Bowl contending defense. But in my opinion, we had a really good defense last year. Some spots still needed improvement, and this year's draft, after watching some of the film on some of the guys that we drafted, made me realize that Washington defense is now complete in my eyes, and we're ready to compete for a Super Bowl from that standpoint, from the defense standpoint. And I know, like I said, once again, some of you guys may have felt like that last year, but me personally, going into last season, I knew our defense was going to have an upgrade with hiring Jack Del Rio, with having Ron Rivera as our head coach, a defensive-minded coach, and then adding Chase Young with the second overall pick last year. I knew it was going to be good, or at least an upgrade over Greg Minuski's bum defense and Joe Barry's defense, but I did not expect it to do what it was going to be do last year. Second, I believe passing defense led by Ronald Darby, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't expect that to happen, you know what I'm saying? I knew our secondary was shaky, but once again, like I said, I didn't know Ronald Darby was going to be what he was. I didn't know Kendall Fuller was going to be as good, at least to start off the season. We didn't know what Cameron Curl was going to be, and we also didn't know, or should I say I didn't know, because I was a big fan of this move. I didn't know what DeShazer Everett was going to be. I didn't expect DeShazer Everett to even, get a chance at free safety. I knew he was a special teams demon, but I didn't expect him to really get a shine. So you see what I'm saying here? We knew the defense was going to be an upgrade, but I didn't know it was going to do what it was going to do. So, the reason why I'm making this video is because I see all of the sports analysts, all the NFL analysts, all the NFL fan pages doing little rankings about the defense, and we're actually getting respected. I seen one, I can't remember who the Instagram page was, but they had us the best defense in the NFL. So, after I seen that, then I went back and, started to watch more and more film on our draft picks, because I was in the middle of doing that anyway, but I continue to watch, and I'm still not done yet, but I continue to watch, Jamin Davis, the Foster guy that we drafted, Benjamin St. Just, or however you say his name, I'm sorry if I butchered it, but I continue to watch this and was like, man, this defense is now completed and ready to compete for a Super Bowl. Like I said, I know some of you guys are going to be like, we were like that last year, you know what I'm saying? We were ready to compete for a Super Bowl from the defensive standpoint last year, and I mean, I was 50-50. I do feel like we were able to hang with the best of them, obviously, because you can make an argument and say that we gave Tampa Bay, who eventually became the Super Bowl champions, their best run for their money in the playoffs, which holds weight, which is true. You know what I'm saying? So some of you guys may feel like the defense was ready to compete for Super Bowl last year, but me personally, I did feel that way, but I also felt like we did have holes to fill, like linebackers. So with that being said, now us drafting Jamin Davis, us getting Foster, Benjamin St. Just, and getting some edge rushing depth really made me realize that this defense is now complete. Like, honestly, we have no weaknesses no more. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that doesn't hold weight because you don't know what these guys are going to be. Now, let me say this. I believe out of all our draft picks besides Jamin Davis, that kind of holds weight, because, I mean, I could throw Jamin Davis in there, and you guys know I've been saying this the whole time. I feel like Washington drafted solely on potential, what these guys could be in the next 2 to 3 years, not what they can be now. So, I mean, that kind of holds weight. So, what I was about to say was that they might not be ready, or they may not be better than what we have on the roster right now. So, what I'm saying is Foster, he might not be better than DeShazer Everett at free safety right now, and that's just a guess. And Jamin Davis may not be the best day one, but they drafted him solely on potential. And now, like I said, this defense is going to be complete in my opinion. Now, I beg to differ to what I said about them not being ready. I think Jamin Davis is going to be ready day one. You never know, though. But what I was saying was that Washington now drafting Benjamin St. Just, now drafting Jamin Davis in the first round, now drafting Foster out of Cincinnati, a safety. Our defense has no weaknesses. Added on to already Cameron Curl, already Chase Young, already Montez Sweat, already the Alabama wall, Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen up front. You know, the linebacker position was probably the only weakest spot, in my opinion at least, that we had last year, because we didn't have no linebacker really outside of Cole Holcomb. I mean, I'm not the biggest hater of John Bostic. You know what I'm saying? I don't love John Bostic, but I'm not the biggest hater of him. I mean, I don't want him out there starting, but what can we do about it? You know what I'm saying? They seem to love John Bostic, so he's going to be out there. But last year, like I was saying, we didn't have that middle linebacker that really could lead us to greatness. Now, Jamin Davis, he isn't a middle linebacker. He's a person that can play all three, and that's the reason why Ron Rivera really loved him, because he's positional flex. You hear Ron Rivera talk about this all the time. He has the ability to play middle linebacker, but I believe he's going to come here and at least start playing at will. I want him at middle linebacker, but it's, you know, they're going to have John Bostic there. They love John Bostic for whatever reason that may be. They love them some John Bostic. So now, with that being said, now with having Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis is on the other side, and then having John Bostic in the middle, I do kind of think that's going to elevate John Bostic's play too. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, do you see what I just named here? I don't see any weaknesses on our defense anymore. Hopefully, Benjamin St. Just could come out here and be the other outside corner, and then have Kendall Fuller play the slot, play where he made his money at, or even put him at free safety. Who knows, man? I mean, I don't hate Kendall Fuller on the outside. Let me make that clear. He's fine on the outside. He can play all three out on the inside slot, obviously, and the two outside corners. You know what I'm saying? Positional flex and even free safety. Positional flex. Ron Rivera loves that about our team and about Kendall Fuller specifically. So we don't have no weaknesses. Just imagine when Benjamin St. Just, if he is gonna pan out, and hopefully he does, have him on the outside. That 6'4" frame. I believe that's how tall he is, man. The long reach. Now, he's not fast, but he has the long length and the long reach to be able to make up for that, so he don't have to be as fast like a Richard Sherman. So I just wanted to come on here and basically talk about that, because I personally feel that Washington now has zero weaknesses on their defense, and we're now ready to compete from a Super Bowl standpoint on the defense. Now, obviously, the offense is still going to be a big question, because we don't have our future quarterback. We have Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I'm telling you guys this now, once we get our future quarterback, and who knows, Ryan Fitzpatrick could very well come in here and ball out for us in 2021, but I'm just going to speak for the future. Once we get our future quarterback, we're going to be in the running for Super Bowls and NFC championships and NFC East crowns year in and year out, man. So it's going to be so exciting to watch this team play, but I just wanted to come on here and just talk about how we're so good and so loaded on the defensive side of the ball that I now think we're a Super Bowl contending team from the defensive side of the ball. And not even just talking about the starters. Look at the depth we have on the edge rushers. Look at the depth we have in the secondary, man. And like I said, these guys that got drafted this year, I feel like Ron Rivera got these guys based on potential, what they can be in 2 to 3 years. And what's so good about these draftees that we made this year is that they don't have to come in here and start day one. That's the biggest mistake that we made under Jay Gruden's regime. We never had depth. And that's on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. We never had depth. But now we had depth. You remember last year when Ron Rivera first came here, we wanted him to make the big splashes, but he basically spent that free agency, and you can say some parts of the draft, on just building the depth. You know what I'm saying? Now this year was the year where we went out and got playmakers like Curtis Samuel. We got William Jackson, and I even forgot. How could I forget about William Jackson, man? Let me go backtrack right quick. I forgot to mention William Jackson, man. I can't believe that. So William Jackson on the outside, Benjamin St. Just on the other side, and then Kendall Fuller in the slot. I don't know how I forgot to mention William Jackson, but we went on and got William Jackson. So this year was spent on getting playmakers and also getting depth players in free agency. Then on the draft, we got our defensive playmaker in Jamin Davis, and we also continue to add on to the defense by getting the 2 edge rushers, by getting Benjamin St. Just and getting Foster. So like I said, these guys can eventually be starters. They could very well come in here and be starters day one, but at worst, they're going to be backups. But then they're going to be learning and getting, they're still going to be getting playing time, and then they can eventually evolve into what Ron Rivera and the front office drafted them to be. Like I said, and I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, I personally feel like we drafted this year based on potential and upside. No one that we drafted, probably outside of Jamin Davis, well, I'm speaking for the defensive side of the ball, outside of Jamin Davis, and you can even throw him in there if you guys want to. He drafted all these guys based off of potential and upside and what they can be in 2 to 3 years. So if they're not good this year, don't be mad. Don't be sweating it. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes time to build Rome. Rome wasn't built in a day. So that's just all I wanted to come on here and talk about. And I cannot believe I did not mention William Jackson earlier on when I was talking about the secondary. That's crazy, man. But like I said, this defense is going to be phenomenal. And even NFL Network is showing us love, man. It's just crazy to think how 3 years ago, I was just sitting at home watching, obviously, the Washington Redskins at the time, and we would never get no love. They would even show our games. I remember specifically, we blew out the Oakland Raiders a couple years ago. I know you guys remember that game when DJ Swearinger smacked Marshawn Lynch. I remember that game like the back of my hand. Sunday Night Football. We blew them out, man, and they did not show our highlights. They showed one highlight, and I'm thinking, okay, this is normally what they do. But then they show the Patriots game, and then they show like the full game. But I'm going on a little rant right here. But like I said, I'm just excited to see that the NFL is finally giving us our recognition, and I just can't be more excited about the direction of this football team. But yeah, man, it's me and boy Juan Gotti. I just wanted to come in here and talk about why I believe Washington now has a Super Bowl contending defense. Like I said, some of you guys may disagree with me and say Washington already had a Super Bowl contending defense last year, which could hold weight, but I felt like we had holes around the field. But now we have 0 holes, in my opinion. So our defense was so amazing last year. Well, just imagine what it's going to be this year, now that, in my opinion, we have 0 or maybe minimum holes on our team. Man, it's just going to be so fun to watch, and I cannot wait to the fall. And so let me know what you guys feel about this video down below. It's me and boy Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you pop, get